Hey y'all, Casey here. We're going to talk about how to lose weight and balance hormones by feeling your feelings. Those of you that are new, I cuss a lot. I'm definitely weird and have a trauma-informed fitness approach to weight loss. That's why nothing else has worked, is because you haven't done this. You haven't worked with me yet.
I was not supposed to be successful. Hey there, Casey Ship here, fitness model, hormone expert, and a master energy healer. I help goal-oriented women clear out the reason why nothing has worked and finally step into their purpose and get everything they've ever wanted.
We're going to go over strategy, but I'm going to show you what I do with my clients, what I do with myself to have a nice ass at 40, total hysterectomy, 2 C-sections, all that fun stuff. Like, I don't do traditional cardio. I don't even really lift weights the way I used to. I don't. I'm going to share with you how women come in. They've maybe been on keto and doing all these insane, stupid diets like intermittent fasting. Seriously, intermittent fasting's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. And you know what? I say things, yes, to be polarizing, to ruffle feathers, but I do. I wouldn't starve myself. If it works for you, and I know a lot of men like it, but, are you a man? And if you say that, well, it works for me, well, that's fine if you just want to cram food into one, time of the day. But what if it wasn't helping your hormones? Because it's probably not. And if you think that it is, maybe this person is a freak of nature. But I see a lot of women, right? I know a lot of women. And I would love to know if there is a woman that's 40 that has an ACE score, trauma ACE score, or has taken my trauma quiz, that is like a 6 and up, who has all the same things all of us have on our plate. I would love to see her hormones. And she can't be on some kind of PED, performance enhancing drug. Like, it has to be a fair game. Okay. I'd love to see what she looks like and how much she requires to look like that. So intermittent fasting will definitely wreck your hormones in a way. I hate to say wreck your hormones. There's always a gray area, but here we go. I am black and white in a lot of things. I'm a professional fitness model, former fitness athlete, meaning I've been doing this for a long fucking time. Like, since 2008, I started doing this work. Started competing, went pro and all that in 2012. Started doing the trauma-informed approach 2018-19. And got really serious and really weird. We get weirder every year, to be honest. I mean, this morning, earlier, we did a soul retrieval, and that's what we're going to talk about today, and go into the trauma and how it's stored in your nervous system, because I'm definitely going to use this for the podcast. So, and every time I say podcast, I think of that fucking song that's, I'm looking for a man in finance, 6'5". God, it just stays in your fucking head. But anyway, okay, here's how I lose weight. I'm here to help you lose weight. I understand that it's been a struggle. I understand you've done a lot of diets. I understand that you've probably gone to the doctors. I understand you've probably even done Reiki. Some of you go and see healers and shit. I understand that you've taken medication. I understand that you've done a lot of things. I did a lot of things. I understand that when we post and talk about hormones, I know that there's something up with it. I do that for work. I have a lot of health coaches that follow me. I'm like, why don't you just totally work with me so you can learn this approach and help your people? But they just sniff my shit out and they don't actually take action. That's fine. But they just want to know, how is that possible for you? I'm going to share how. And here's what we do. So hormones, like yesterday, the lady was like, it's hard. You can't get your testosterone free with your total B. And I'm like, here, hold my beer. Here we go. Now, here's how you do that. To get your hormones balanced across the board, like the rates, the levels that we give, which is pinned to my Instagram or my free group that's pinned there. If it's not pinned there, then just check the free group. It's in there, the free Facebook group. In my life, since I've been doing this, 2015, I started actively working with the doctors that I work with, that I give you access to when you work with me. Or you do Fit Hormones for 27 or Bad Bitch Bundle or Hot Moms Mastermind. I give you access to these doctors. I started working with them in 2015 because prior to that, I would go to the doctors. I'd go to all the holistic healers. And even when I did do the blood test, they would just tell me I was normal. Turns out, when I got with my physician, the ones I give you access to, they were like, oh, wow, you're so not normal. And I can't tell you how many women, even if they're working with functional medicine doctors, and the functional medicine doctors are great. Functional medicine, it's a step beyond at least, but it's still something off. They like to go to project testosterone and some thyroid, estrogen maybe. What people are missing out on is the adrenals, okay? If you don't address the adrenals, which is going to be shown in a lot of things, honestly, in the aldosterone, in the cortisol, but more importantly, in the way you convert testosterone. All of it and how you see life, honestly, is an adrenal thing. And this is what we're going to talk about, is getting to the root cause. so you can lose the weight. The weight loss is actually easy. I'm going to say it again. Weight loss is really easy once you get this one thing down. Once you understand this one thing and you can do it and you've embodied it and you understand the flow, dude, anything gets to be easy because you understand, oh, this is just that thing. Don't worry, we're going to get there. So the hormones. So if you've been trying to do your hormones or you're thinking it's a hormone issue, and if you're wondering, do I have a hormonal issue? Here's some signs and symptoms. Stubborn fat. Maybe you are busting ass. You're doing all of the right things, but the weight's not coming off. So dieting. The weight comes on and goes off. Your motivation comes in and out. You go through big ups, big downs. Sleep is off. Hair is thinning. Libido is off. You find yourself feeling bad about yourself, maybe comparing yourself online and you just feel bad. You feel like life is out here, it's out of your grasp and everybody else is like happy and you're not, kind of thing. I know it's crazy, but this is hormonal. Of course, the basics, you're cold all the time, holding weight in certain areas, and not even talking about blood sugar, if you hold fat on your arms or in your back fat, different things, constipation, gut issues, all of these, brain fog, ADD, ADHD, fear, like not believing in yourself, lots of self-doubt, lots of stress. You feel stressed, you feel overwhelmed, all hormonal issues. Okay. So it's your mental health, hormonal issues, and it affects your physical health. I mean, unless you've been living under a fucking rock, you know that your mind controls everything. Your mind and emotions control the outside. Okay. If you're new to this, bear with me. Or don't bear with me. Do whatever you want to do. So understanding the hormones are an external thing. It's an internal thing, yes, but it's an external thing. And that's why if you go and you say, hey, I just want to work on hormones or just want to address my gut, that's like the tip of the iceberg. Okay. And that's what I did at first. At first I addressed, okay, let me address my hormones and then let me just do the hormones. But I didn't address anything else in what I did. And it only got me so far. Actually, I had a lot of problems. I was converting things negatively. I was getting symptoms from high testosterone. I was on edge. It was gnarly. So I struggled for a while, even after I started adjusting hormones, because when you adjust one, it affects everything else. It's this domino effect. And you really got to know what you're doing. It's a big science project. Not to mention, as you're going through this, hormones are the lens in which you look at life, period. So understanding hormones, don't beat up on yourself if you can't nail the hormone game, because it is a game. And I'm gonna share with you though tonight, like how to fucking do it. I'm gonna share with you the thing to help you. But you gotta be open. Here's the thing, you gotta be willing to see things differently than you've ever fucking seen when it comes to weight loss. Ever. And I always say this, how's your way working out for you? The way you've been doing it and the way all this shit's like, how's that fucking working out? Probably not. Look at the cellulite, look at the low motivation, procrastination. Just if you're sitting there thinking, oh, let me wait till next week, to the end of this, or when kids go back, or when vacation's over, all these ways of thinking, hormonal problems, and the real root issue that we're going to get into. So there's that. So we're prefacing this whole conversation on, yes, it's hormones. So if you suspect, is it hormones because I'm doing all the right stuff or I don't feel this way or I'm motivated? Yes, it's hormones. Can we tweak your hormones to make you show up in a different way? Yes. Is it going to fix the root issue? No, you're going to eventually, it's like Final Destination. You can't outrun death. You can't cheat death. It's the same thing. You can't outrun your trauma. Okay. Now, workouts. When we review your blood work and we see what's off, based on what is off, for example, if your thyroid's off, we're going to be like, all right, I know right away she's got mommy wounds. There's a lot of martyr complex. There's definitely it's an emotional neglect, but a lot of mother wounds, a lot of sisterhood wounds, a lot of feminine wounds, feeling responsible for everybody, feeling guilty if she doesn't do this, and I hate to say it, like a weak energy, doesn't believe in herself, doesn't really want to put herself out there, doesn't want to really, there's no fire, there's no masculine, there's not a lot of divine masculine like leading her. She's not taking action. It's a wounded feminine energy, okay, shut down. This is also, though, a depression in the hormones. The thyroid's off. The testosterone's probably low. The adrenals are off. So you see how they go hand in hand. And this starts way back, way, way back. You're actually born into it, believe it or not. It's in the genetic coding. Then you tack on your actual upbringing, and then you tack on your fucking life experiences, and you're fucked. You get to 40 years old, or 30, or you have a kid or you do something like that, and then you blame it on that. You say, well, I'm just older. Well, I had a kid and this happened. No, bitch, this has been under the surface like cancer festering. This has just gotten your attention. And unfortunately, that's what's going to happen to a lot of us. Is people, they're not going to wake up until it's too late. They're too old. They're old. They're not too old. You're never too old. But this is why you'll see a lot of women really waking up around their midlife crisis. Something's got to change. I'm like, yeah, you've been running your ass off, running from who knows what, trying to juggle all the plates, grinding it down in burnout your whole life. And now it's finally catching up in autoimmune disease. You're getting some diagnoses you don't like. You're getting unexplained health conditions. And, your body's just going to it's kept score of everything. And as an intuitive healer, I'm going to share with you what I see in a lot of people, right? And in today, especially in a session, it's amazing, perfect example about adrenal fatigue and how it shows up in the soul and the energy of who we are. But the workouts, you can't train like you've always trained. If you're experiencing, gut issues, low libido, you're not losing weight, you're doing all the right things, you cannot continue to train that way. That's going to be hard for some of you. The Orange Theory things, that's going to be hard for a lot of you. It's just, you're not going to, it's not that you can't do it. It's then like you're old. No, there's a better way to do it. There's a better, easier way that's honoring your body. So what we like to do is do the food and gut test to find out what you can and can't have. And if you want any of these resources, just put strategy or results in the comments and I'll send it. Okay. Once we get that, you get the hormones done. Once we get that, you get the hormones done. Let me hold this out. Once we see the hormones, or once you see the hormones, and this is in Fit Hormones, it's in Bad Bitch, and it's in Mastermind, you'll see, hey, all right, my adrenals are off, this is off. And based on, well, it's not in Fit Hormones, actually. The workouts and the diet is, but not the actual trauma healing, not the clearing out of your nervous system and regulating your nervous system parts. It's just, so you have to get the right workouts and the right food based on where you're at, and not forever. You don't have to do this shit forever. You just do it until you reach the desired result, and then you continue to tweak, because guess what? Life's going to keep happening. And you don't want to be circumstantial. I see this so many times. People in weight loss are so circumstantial. Oh, it's 4th of July. It's New Year's. It's my kid's birthday. It was the weekend. I can't do it right now because of this, or I need to go all in. All that's trauma response. Trauma response. Deep down, there's a fear of something. There's a fear of success, a fear of, can I maintain it? A fear of, I'm just going to try and fail again and that's going to fucking suck. There's some fear behind. If I asked every woman, why don't you just do it now? Oh, it's money. Sometimes, yeah, truly, like, they only have $30 in their account and whatever, but most of the time, they don't believe it's going to work. They don't believe it's going to work. So, valid point. And if you get that strategy, in that strategy, I go over the aspect of why you feel this way. And it teaches you about the trauma and how you think and how it really controls your mind. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you've got unresolved trauma, you're going to stay in a cycle of shit. You're going to just stay in the cycle of waiting and feeling like, I'm scared to do this because it's not going to work. You're not going to trust yourself. It's crazy. And you're just going to keep getting the same shit. You're going to keep buying onesie, twosie little, surface level shit. And you're not going to ever learn how to heal yourself, truly. So once you understand how to do that, now let's get to the root issue. Okay, here's the root issue. Trauma-informed approach, because this, yes, not only did it work for me when nothing else worked, it's worked for 3,000 women that's taken the program, the course, and has gotten a taste of the content. So let me give you an example. Okay, so hormones, the adrenals are at the root issue. Like it's where you have, it's the energy center, fight or flight, adrenaline, all these things. And you reach a point in your life where you wonder, why am I tired? Why am I so tired? Why do I need so much caffeine? Well, okay, when I tell a woman like us to just rest, she laughs. She doesn't know how to rest. She's got guilt around resting, actually. It's almost like you don't see these women just resting and slowing down on the inside. They're in survival mode. They're in fight or flight. They're worried that if I don't do this, then this won't happen. If I don't hold on tightly and anything and everything so that I am safe, then that's a lot. That's a lot of, it's just control, but it comes from fear. This is a trauma response. Now, it can come from a multitude of things. Everybody has a unique situation, but I can promise you this. Everybody has trauma. Everybody has something in your energy, in the field. It's not what happened to you. It's what didn't happen to you. It's what you didn't know. So trauma is this taboo word And you have to be willing to say, hey, you know what? I have struggled for a long time with my weight. I have tried all these things and nothing worked. There's got to be a deeper reason. And it's not that we need to sit here and chant kumbaya. It's understanding what trauma does to your body, how it literally runs the show. For example, there was a lady today that I worked on. She did a private call and she was saying like, I'm in a bad place. And immediately we were sitting there. It takes about 20 minutes. I get her to breathe. And I teach all of this in the new mastermind. I teach you how to heal your body and heal these stored, trapped energies in your body that's causing pain. If you have pain in your body, you're storing emotional pain as well. Oh, you're saying like, I'm not even going to talk to the people that won't have shit to say about it. Because if I could have 2 seconds with those people and what I'm talking about, I could just work on it. But every stored pain in your body, everything in your body, if your thyroid's off, your adrenals are off, it all stores, it's from a stored emotion that comes from a stored conditioning and a stored belief. So if something's not in your life that's going, it means that it's because there's a belief in you that's creating this outcome. There's a belief in you and the coding and the genetic coding that created this outcome. And you can change a lot of things. Trust me, I have, and my students do this. So she gets on the phone. We go in. Immediately, I pick up. I was like, okay, so a tornado shows up. Tornadoes are representing, the energy, a tornado-like energy, just a whirlwind of just shit, okay? She goes, that describes exactly how I'm feeling. I'm like, all right. Immediately, I'm taken to her 6-year-old self. I'm showing her 6-year-old self. She's reading a book, whatever. I won't get into it for real. It's confidential. But turns out it was a very traumatic situation time in her life. Once again, she didn't really know I did this shit. So she was like, I don't know how you know this. And I was like, really? You didn't know I was like this? And she's like, I think about it, listening to your content, wondering how you knew some of the things. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. You could just tell. But 6 years old, something happened that she knew about. And what happened in that moment is she went into freeze. She disassociated, meaning you ever seen Tom and Jerry when the cats get scared and it like jumps out of their body? Okay, that happens to us. That happens to us when we experience something scary. And hear me out. I go over this in energy codes. And I think it's the root system. When you're a child, kids don't have the nervous systems that adults have. It's for, if you'll look, things that scare kids, when you grow up, you're like, I can't believe that scared me. It's not because you're stupid. It's because your nervous system is still it's growing, it's being created. And a lot of us grew up in, maybe we had single moms. Maybe our parents fought. Maybe we were always in a hurry. We always saw our parents struggling. Whatever the case is, that creates survival mode. It creates a belief that it's not safe to be here. And so we get to a point where we don't want to live in our bodies. We live disassociated, like staying real busy. I don't want to sit still. I don't know how to meditate. I don't know how to, what do you mean check in with my body kind of thing? Like it's just what? Mindfulness. Nobody knows, like everybody, you'll see mindfulness and people want to write it off like it's something. If you only knew that mindfulness and like metacognition and mindfulness is the missing key, you would be like, how fast can I take a bath and do your journal prompts tonight, Casey? How fast can I get in reset and restore, Casey? If you knew that trauma was the one thing that was holding you back, you would be diving in my shit. You'd be all in my DMs begging for a payment link. Now, it may seem like a little scary, but I promise you, your body you're living in the worst part. When you discover what's held you back, it is a freedom. It is emotional freedom. If you want to be free from your weight struggles, you will say, hey, I'm willing to do something different. Let me look into this shit and where I'm storing trauma. Because if you're struggling with weight or hormones, you've got stored trauma in your body. If you're struggling with anything physically, you've got stored trauma in your body. You have to understand this. There's no workouts. There's no diet. There's no green juice. There's no fucking doctors that's going to fix this. You have to fix it, okay? And it's not your fault that it happened, but it's your responsibility to do the personal work, the self-growth. So anyway, we get in there, this happened, and she was disassociated. So I've never done a session quite like this one. We went in to do the soul retrieval because you have aspects of yourself. I call it soul retrieval. I'm a little woo, but you have aspects of yourself that's fragmented off when things happen. So each time something happens, you just lose a little part of yourself. And people's even said this, I lost my dad and I felt like I lost part of myself. That's a very true statement. So my kids moved out and I feel like a bit of me left. Like, it's very true. If you've ever undergone surgery, that's a big time traumatic experience. Your body remembers everything. Your body did not go under anesthesia. Your body continued to work, and you've got severe trauma from surgery. And this is why people, when they're like, well, let me join your program after surgery, I'm like, baby, if you only knew what was about to happen, you would be on it right now, because we know how to lower your viral load and prepare your body energetically for surgery and recover your body from surgery, because it is so traumatic, and the anesthesia gets stored in your body, and you have to learn how to release that. It's crazy. And now we start working with the girl, and as we start to, because you can only heal yourself, right? You can have people like me that can guide you to these places, but you've got to do the healing. And the more you can relax, the better. A body can only heal in a relaxed state. So usually I'll get images, I'll see things. I invite them to come in, and we have words with this younger part of themselves. Anyway, this little girl didn't necessarily want help. I'm like, okay, she feels very like she just is a toxic shame, like she's supposed to be in a dark corner basement all alone. Now I was shown another age of her, and she was like, holy shit, it was a horrible time. It got, and she was like, incredible hard time for me. It's like, okay, so all these parts of herself are coming in. And this was the tornado energy. This was the running around, nothing's working out. Holy shit, I've been going through a lot. It's just what's going on the inside. Our parts of ourself are usually always running the show until we get control and we show up as the adult. So if you've struggled with weight, if you struggle with getting your hormones done or whatever it is, I can guarantee you there's a part of yourself that's way younger and really insecure and doesn't think she's good enough and thinks she's a piece of shit and thinks that everything's got to be hard and everybody else better than her, running the fucking show. Yeah. Because if you were an enlightened, healed adult that knew she was the shit, big energy bitch, can do whatever, of course she belongs here. You would take action, you would show up, you would pay up. Like, it's just, the world would be a different place. Mental health is not talked about enough. It's actually looked down on and it's weird. But anyway, we did this work with her today, and it ended up working out. We did the retrieval. We went over a trauma release thing that I taught her, and she said, I feel completely different. I don't even feel that energy anymore. I do this, and here's the deal. When you do this and you recognize pieces of yourself that you maybe forgotten about or whatever, it's not that you need to go relive it. Just breathe and connect. And what that's doing energetically is saying, I'm here for you. I see you. I'm sorry that you've been here or whatever. I just see you. It just needs to be acknowledged and accepted. That's it. It just needs to be acknowledged and accepted. And that's it. Validated, acknowledged, accepted. And that's really all you have to do. Have you ever met somebody or talked to somebody and they'll say something and you start crying and you're like, I feel so seen and heard. Like, you nailed it. That's exactly what's going on. You nailed it. That's when you feel seen, heard, and validated. When somebody knows, it hits you right there. That's what it is. That's what this work is. That's all this work is in trauma informed, is understanding how it's stored in the body, what it does to you. And we did a call last Sunday. I have a feminine course, a womb course, rites of passage for being a woman. And just the stuff that we go through as a woman, incredible. And women wonder why we have so many female issues. And we've never done this work. We weren't taught this work. If you've never seen my video on the 17-year-old self, it's a good one. Go watch it. I think it's on YouTube and my podcast. But that is how you get to the root issue of any weight problems, is through trauma. It's that you have to understand the emotional body. Increase your emotional intelligence. That's the only way to truly heal the body. And now, can you heal your body in this lifetime? No, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die of something. There's no way to find every little nook and cranny. But most people, after they work with us, this is why you'll see women who don't have thyroid issues anymore. They don't have adrenal fatigue anymore. They lose the weight. They keep it off. Their relationships improve. Their money improves. Their self-confidence. They don't gain the weight back. They're just at peace. There's a freedom. And it's because they are free. It's because they've learned how to free themselves. They're not just going looking for another weight loss. Tell me what to eat, do my hormones. They're doing that, but they're also taking it up a notch and being smart about it and saying, let me address the emotional, mental body. Y'all know mindset's everything. So if you sit there and think weight loss is hard, it's harder for me, my thyroid's this or that, well, there it's going to be. If that's what you believe, then that's what you're going to get. So to change your beliefs in your subconscious, it's going to require some reprogramming. So that's the missing piece, is addressing the trauma. And what you're going to realize is you're going to be more calm. You're just going to feel more in control. You're going to crave time alone. You're going to start noticing things. You're going to be more aware of your emotions. Like, wow, I'm feeling this way. And those of you that are in the Bad Bitch membership or the Bad Bitch bundle or Hot Moms Mastermind, the emotion wheel section where I give you the journal prompts for that and how to walk yourself through it. Solid as shit. Super helpful. The trauma quiz, the EQ pathway quiz, super helpful as well to just show you, here's what's off. Because those of you in the mastermind and Bad Bitch, you have that 52 question one. Okay. The other one's 12 questions. Just to show you, like, hey, here's why you felt off. Here's why you feel this, because it's not cool when you make it mean something about yourself. When you make the scale going up mean that you are not good enough. You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. It sucks when you let our things be attached to our self-worth, and then we start beating up on ourselves, we lose confidence, and then we don't take action, and that's not okay. So I suggest starting with get your hormones done, and at the same time, immediately dive into reset and restore. Start going through day one. Go through that work, and you're going to see, just do it while you do the laundry or something, and you're going to be like, oh my God, no wonder I've been wired and tired. Like, no wonder nothing has worked. Reset and restore will let you know. And then pop over to drop the fucking weight struggle. Drop the weight struggle. Start with week 1. And then pop over and do resilient as fuck so that you can receive all the good things coming in. And I am feeling, those of you in Mastermind, I am feeling a new module for resilient as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, but right now we're doing the vision board party, which is super in itself, will clear patterns of the past. Right now, I can guarantee you're repeating a very similar pattern to last year and the years before. So if you're really ready to break the pattern of yo weight or get answers as to why things have been harder off, or you want the right answers, you want to know how to fix your hormones and how to get the body with ease, and this is how I do it. I understand how trauma works in the body. I understand the steps that need to be done to heal myself and to honor my body, mind, and soul. And I know exactly what to do if I'm going through something. I know how to work out and I know how to eat. I'm not emotional about my food. A lot of people are very emotional about their workouts and food. You've got to learn how to neutralize these high emotional charges in your body. That's going to help in understanding where they come from. It's all trauma-based. So I encourage you to, anything you start to buy, if you're buying personal growth or business coaching or weight loss, look for trauma-informed. Look for anything where they touch on energetics, trauma-informed, and beyond mindset. Mindset, I have found, unless you just feel really good about it, it's going to be basic shit. Think positive and think this way, like lots of spiritual bypassing in a way. And then there's a part of you that's got law of attraction where you think, you're like, okay, I'm doing this, but now what? Like, what's between there? So energetics and trauma-informed, for me, is what made the biggest impact on my life, is addressing the energy and the energetics and trauma, really. And because it carries over in your relation. If you have relationship trauma, it just comes from not feeling safe around the opposite sex or being vulnerable. It's not safe. So there you go. It's just a trauma thing. And if you do have relationship stuff, that's in relationship by design. So all of these are inside of the Bad Bitch bundle. Go on my link in bio and the link's there. It's like $250 a month. And then the mastermind is where everything goes down. And then I can look at your shit. And what I'm doing right now, if you fill out an intake form within the next 24 hours of listening to this, we'll personally take a look at it. We'll send you a strategy, right? But we're going to take a look at it and give you a custom strategy. Because most of you need one-to-one. Most people need human interaction. Most people need community. So that's a huge aspect of the Hot Moms Mastermind. Just know that. and you're going to get faster results. So if you want the 7-day results, like 7 days, get results in 7 days, real fast results, go to caseyship.com/intake form. caseyship.com/intake form. No more guesswork. Just sit back, fill it out. Let us step in. We're going to give you exactly pinpoint things. I even ask a question if I can give you some intuitive guidance as well. Okay. I shall talk to you soon. See you later.